Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds. It's Red Friday, but before we talk about what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing this weekend, let's talk about that Missouri State Bears football team. So, again, before we get into this, great season, unfortunate circumstances, a week out from the game, your coach announces, hey, I'm packing up, moving out to Coast Carolina. Of course, they still had the OC, and they still had a lot of pieces together, but that does do something to a team. And I think it was kind of evident in the beginning of it, but then all of a sudden, man, fourth quarter.
Well, that has been the Bears' habit. That's been their whole system all year long, to fall behind in the first half, kind of figure out the team, and then come roaring back, because they can do that with Jacob Clark at quarterback. Unfortunately, last night was his last game. He's been in college football for 7 years. 7 years. Now, you think about that. Started at University of Minnesota, Big Ten Conference, and played a few games for them. Then along comes COVID. Then he was injured. Then he was redshirted. Hey, you can do all that and drag it out. And he's been there for 7 years. So the guy's older than most of those players. Anyway, the Bears fell behind 31-7. Well, the heck with this. They're just not going to happen. And looking at it in the first half, when Arkansas State did everything well, they had a couple of guys in there, Jalen Raymore and Corey Rucker, who just completely ran through Missouri State. The Bears looked like they were totally disjointed on defense in the first half. And offense, they made a few passes here and there, but it just wasn't together. And I thought watching this, well, this is not the Bears. It is, but it isn't. And the isn't part of it is they're not together. And I have a feeling that maybe the coaching change did have something to do with that. But in the second half, altogether different story. You have Jacob Clark, who threw for 349 yards, folks. That's a gargantuan margin. He was 25 of 35, had 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them in the fourth period when the Bears scored 21 points. Came from behind. And the unfortunate part about it, and first of all, when you're that far behind, you don't look to come back in a fourth period, but they almost did, and then went for the onside kick, did not get it, and had no timeouts remaining. So all Arkansas State did was kneel and take the clock and run it down, and that was the ball game. 34-28, Arkansas State wins the game, but the Bears have nothing to be ashamed of. I thought they played very well, especially in the second half. A gutsy team. And we're going through a bit of a transition now. We'll see just exactly what happens. Jacob Clark, nothing short of out. You think about this, 349 yards, 4 touchdowns, and yet, Mike, he was sacked 8 times. 8 times last night, and he took some violent hits. But the kid got up there and played very well. He is older than most of the other college players. Been in college for 7 years now, and was able to fall upon that experience and be able to come back and lead a team, and almost did. Arkansas State, the winner of the first Xbox Bowl down in Dallas, and watching a little bit of it on television. I say Dallas, it's in Frisco, Texas. They looked like a pretty good crowd. The Bears had well over 1,000 fans down there from Springfield. I don't know what Arkansas State's rooting section was, but nevertheless, didn't make any difference. It was a good crowd, fun game, and the Bears gave a good account of themselves. Arkansas State, the winner, 34-28. Really good, a good base to start out in the FBS system, and now I hope they just continue on under a new coach.
Yeah, I hope there's at least a foundation built in which they can continue to do what they did this year. It's not going to be easy in that conference, and great season for everyone involved. A guy I was sitting with last night, coworker. He took Arkansas State, and he took the under, and I said, you're a moron. It was 54.5, and I think he thought I was the moron until the fourth quarter started. The Missouri State Bears closed out their season in Dallas, Texas. Well, close to it last night. And now the next question is, who's going to be coaching that team?
Well, the guy's name is Casey Woods, and he's expected to be presented today or maybe tomorrow up in Springfield. And this appears to me, in looking at his background, first of all, he's giving up the job of offensive coordinator at Southern Methodist, and that has one of the top offenses in the country. Last year, they made it into the playoffs. This year, they did not, but they're a bowl team nonetheless. Anyway, Mr. Woods has told his coaching staff at Southern Methodist that he is going to leave and take the job at Missouri State. And it's pretty much known now that's going to be the case. 42-year-older wide receiver at Tennessee in his college days. Now, he has been in college coaching now for a number of years, better than a decade. He's 42 years old, offense-oriented. He was the offensive coordinator for the Mustangs, and I'm sure he will have a very distinct influence on what the Bears do in the coming years. But he'll be probably named as soon as today and maybe tomorrow. By named, he has been named. It's going to be the presentation of him to the media and to the public. Casey Woods is the guy's name, 42-year-older from most recently from Dallas. I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I imagine he was at that game last night. Because Frisco's in the Dallas suburbs, so indeed he would have had a great chance to be there.
I'm really excited to see what he can do for the team. I'm also, again, scared that for a while, I think, unless we get someone that just becomes a lifer, we're going to be viewed as kind of a stepping stone school. A couple of years, move on.
There's no question about that, Mike. That's how it's designed. This guy's 42, so yeah, he'll be moving on. But it's a 5-year contract that he signed, so he can get things established in that time period. What he has to do when he takes over is, number one, look at the recruits who the Bears got under Ryan Beard. And there's 16 of them, and who knows how many others later on in February when they have the second signing period. But he'll have to get with them and say, hey, look, I'm the new guy here. I'm going to do what you want, and so forth and so on, and try to convince them to stay, because they don't have to. Even though they've been recruited, they can go right now to the transfer portal and leave and go with Coach Beard or whomever. So you have to recruit the players who are already there. You have to keep them because they can go in the transfer portal, and as a matter of fact, a couple of them already have. So, yeah, it's a different formula altogether for taking over this football team. Who do the Bears open with next year, their opening game? Oh, come on. Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, where 106,000 people will be watching. Texas A&M will be very, very tough. Very, very much tougher than Southern Cal was. And you know what the Bears had. Matter of fact, the Bears' first 3 games next year are Texas A&M, Marshall, which will be here, and then back down to Southern Methodist, where this coach is coming from. So we're in for, I think, a bit of a treat.
See, hopefully they can get some recruiting done and get some good young talent in there. Very sad note today, Ned. What's the deal?
This is Greg Biffle, who was one time one of the stars of NASCAR. As a matter of fact, he was one of the top 75 NASCAR drivers in the history of the sport. And Mr. Biffle and his family, Mr. Biffle was a pilot, I'm assuming, on the Cessna plane. There were 7 people that were killed. The accident occurred on the landing of Biffle's private plane in Statesville, North Carolina. It occurred around noontime yesterday. 7 people, including his entire family. Him and his entire family, Greg Biffle's family, all perished in the accident. What a terrible situation that is. Awful. And the plane just went off the runway as it was landing and didn't make it. Now, what happened, I guess the investigators will find out. But the bottom line is this. The whole family wiped out, everybody on the plane, and there were 7 altogether, and that's what a terrible tragedy.
God, week out from Christmas. Just like, can't even imagine. Ooh, all right, Kansas City Chiefs are headed to Nashville this weekend. It's going to be a very battered team, but like I said yesterday, let's start thinking of these last few games as preseason games to watch some of these young backup players get a chance to shine.
And you mentioned that, too, because there were 6 players who did not practice on Wednesday, and I'm assuming were held out yesterday as well. Rashee Rice and Tyquan Thornton are both in concussion protocol. I doubt very much that they played. Might, but Jalen Moore, Jawan Taylor, Derek Nottie, Leo Chanel, they were all held out of practice because of various injuries. And Chris Jones and some of the others are practicing in limited fashion because of the various injuries involved. But the Chiefs, to a player, have vowed to give it their all. They want to play. They want to get out there and do their best. They want to win, for one thing, and they can still end up with a winning record if they are able to take these 3 games. But the fact is that they've got a little bit of pride remaining, and we'll see how much when they take on the Titans. Kansas City is still a 3.5-point favorite in this one. Tennessee's weak, folks. But So are the Chiefs now that they've been battered and bruised, so we'll see what happens.
No matter what, go Chiefs. Have a great weekend, boss.